Okay, so good evening. So today we'll be talking about an important aspect of blood pressure, which happens to be stress. So we're looking at stress and blood pressure. So as part of what we're going to be looking at today, we're going to be looking at key definitions. We're going to be considering the sources of stress. We're going to look at the non-management strategies for managing stress, as well as some behavioral therapies or measures. So let's begin with what stress is. So basically, stress is a feeling of emotional or physical tension. And when you're stressed, you often feel frustrated, angry, and nervous. And this is as a result of the interplay of hormones and neurotransmitters that come to play. These are like the chemicals that come to play when you're under stress or when your body is responding to stress, as it is rightly put. So it is a natural reaction by your body to an uncomfortable situation. Within a short term, stress is not a problem, but over a period of time, it becomes detrimental to your health. And it can lead to a lot of damages to your health, which includes high blood pressure, diabetes mellitus, that's blood sugar disorder, depression, obesity, and acne, which is usually predominantly found in the face. So let's look at the key sources of stress. I have highlighted a few of them, which you might be familiar with. And this cut across job loss. So most persons become stressed by the time they lose their job because of the fact that, of course, they lost their source of income. And the loss of income ultimately leads to anxiety and stress. Tied to that or related to that is bankruptcy. So bankruptcy is closely related to job loss because it's an economic form of stress. So when you are out of cash, maybe due to business rundown or job loss, you can also incur or experience stress. So we have job loss, bankruptcy, and poor business performance as one. You also have hostile work environments. So if you work with a domineering boss or an environment that is hostile to your mental health, you're bound to experience stress. And if you stay long enough on this job, you might begin to develop some chronic health challenges, as we highlighted earlier. The next source of stress is within the family, within the home environment. So if you have disagreement with your spouse or you're going through a traumatic experience like divorce, that can actually trigger episode of stress. So talked about disagreements and divorce. Even the thought of major relocation, if you're moving from one country, one continent to the other to better your life and all that, can elicit stress because you are afraid of your known. You don't know what to expect by the time you move to your new location or new place of abode. Similarly, the death of a loved one, major personal injury and illness are also known to cause a lot of stress. Then you also have chronic health challenges of a loved one. This can occur in the sense that you may not know the outcome of such a condition. Let's say, for instance, a close family member comes down or is affected by cancer, which we don't pray for. That can actually bring a lot of anxiety, fears of the unknown, and stress. Coupled with the fact that there's also a lot of financial stress attached to that. You have to pay a lot to manage your health. It begins to affect other areas of your life, like your work and all that. Insecurity, trauma, and related situations also trigger a lot of stress. If you live in an environment where there's a lot of hostility, insecurity, or you've experienced a traumatic episode like armed robbery case or carjacking, that can actually trigger stress, especially when you find yourself in an environment or you hear familiar sounds So most persons who are familiar, affected by post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, are known to have incurred that through this type of or source of stress. So having looked at the sources of stress, we can go ahead to talk about the signs, so that when you understand or when you observe these signs, you'll be able to say, oh, maybe I'm under stress, and then begin to make adjustments as needed. So because of the fact that a couple of chemicals, we call them medical neurotransmitters or hormones, are involved in period of chronic stress or long-term stress, there are a couple of body changes that you observe, which are actually tied to these chemical changes in your body. And these include diarrhea, constipation, forgetfulness, general body ache. You have headaches, a loss of desire for sex, tiredness, weight loss or weight gain, as the case may be, stiff neck and jaw, insomnia, that's trouble or challenges with falling asleep or staying asleep, as well as low energy levels. So in times of long-term stress, the body produces hormones called cortisol, adrenaline, and norepinephrine in large amounts. So these hormones are known to, produce a lot of free radicals or some harmful chemicals that damage blood vessels and cause inflammation or swelling of tissues, especially blood vessel tissues. Adrenaline is known to increase the rate of the heart, and one of the key things that affects blood pressure is an increased heart rate. While norepinephrine is known to cause a narrowing of the arteries, then cortisol, which is also called the stress hormone, increases heart rate. So imagine a situation whereby the heart rate is increased and there is a significant narrowing or constriction of the arteries. Definitely, and over time, definitely this will cause stress or cause high blood pressure rather. So this is basically how stress, chronic stress, induce high blood pressure. So let's look at how to reverse stress so that it doesn't hamper health or lead to high blood pressure. So a few of these tips are listed here. So I have highlighted them and I said that stress can be relieved with these methods. Number one on my list is separation from source of stress. One of the first things you need to do, the first thing you need to do when you're experiencing chronic stress is to separate yourself from the source of stress. So let's take, for instance, you have a very challenging job. How do you separate yourself? Basically, you have to make plans to you have to set out a plan, your exit plan from the job, or you have to get a second source of income that will allow you withdraw yourself from the job. So withdrawing yourself from the job in a planned manner can actually help you reduce your stress. Or you are in an abusive relationship, what you can do is to sever yourself from that abusive relationship. Or you're facing bankruptcy, you can do well to, develop yourself to improve your earning so that the monetary pressure on you will be reduced. Then you also have to increase your water intake, because like I mentioned, one of the signs of stress is the constipation and diarrhea. And diarrhea basically will lead to dehydration. And most of the signs you notice crankiness and all that are tied to dehydration, which occurs when you're under chronic stress. So you are encouraged to drink a lot of water. Water in this case helps your body to pass out excess toxins, because like I mentioned, when you're under stress, your body produces a lot of free radicals. So the water helps you. You need to urinate more. So the excess water you pass out helps to flush out the toxins, as the case may be. And make you hydrated as much as possible. So you also encourage to eat a balanced meal which is high in fiber. So you have to eat a lot of fiber in the form of fruit, vegetables, nuts, whole grains. So eat a wide variety of foods. Make sure that your food is balanced. When you're under stress, that's not the time to be on carbonated drinks or fizzy drinks or a lot of junk food. You might be tempted to eat a lot of junk food, but this is the time to eat healthily. Then you also encourage to quit cigarette smoking and, if possible, quit alcohol intake, or at best, moderate your alcohol intake. So you also need to practice thankfulness. So thankfulness is a way to reinforce positive emotions. So by this, you have to look at your life and look back and reminisce on the positive things that have happened to you, document them, and be appreciative of those experiences or those occurrences. So when you're positive about life generally, that increases the amount of certain hormones like endorphins and other useful hormones, dopamine and all that will help you reverse or antagonize the stress hormones as they are called. So practicing thankfulness or even journaling, writing down the positive things that have happened to you, or even the negative things that are, when you write down the thoughts, it begins to make sense. You begin to fashion out ways to tackle them. You also encourage to practice relaxation techniques like deep breathing. Deep breathing essentially increases the amount of the chemical they call nitric oxide that helps to expand the blood vessels and make you able to, have regularized blood pressure. Deep breathing also relaxes you, calms your nerves and all that. So you also have mindfulness relaxation. So you just, be in a state of relaxation in a calm environment. People also do meditation, you can go to a natural environment like a beach, a quiet natural environment, or a green area. Stay there, meditate on positive things. It begins to reinforce positive emotions and help you regain your strength and your lost vigor. Then yoga, which is also very useful. So we'll have, furthermore, we'll have biofeedback. So biofeedback involves the measurement of muscle tone. So when you're stressed, your muscles are usually tensed, So, and that's where massage comes in. So basically, when you're doing biofeedback, you measure your muscle tone, the rate of the heart, the blood pressure while you relax. So a smartwatch can give you this value. So a smartwatch can give you all this muscle tone, heart rate, and blood pressure. So as you relax, you begin to notice that these things begin to normalize. And as they normalize, you see the results, you feel good about it, and you want to do more of the relaxation. So that's how biofeedback works. So when you measure, you can feel it, you can see, not just feel, you can see that, oh, this thing is working. This relaxation technique I'm doing is working. You'll be able to do more of that, and that will help you fight stress. You can also plan and go on vacations with your family, take away yourself from the source of stress or work and all that. Spend quality time with family and hobbies. You like playing music instruments, you like singing, you like dancing, whatever it is that you enjoy doing that is a hobby to you, and you're encouraged to practice them when you are under stress. So relax with soothing music. Personally, I love music. There's no day that goes without me listening to music. And I found out music is, especially some certain kind of music helps to relax my nerves. So you can listen to music while you walk, you write, exercise, and you read. A lot. Just choose the genre that appeals to you. So you can also fight stress by reducing the amount of screen time on your cell phones, television, and computers. This will help you improve sleep, especially if you're having insomnia. Regularly exercising encourages you to fight stress. So you can indulge in aerobic kind of exercises like swimming, brisk walking, dancing. Brisk walking is basically a kind of exercise that involves walking. You move your hand in a rapid manner. So it helps oxygenation. It helps your blood flow and all that. Furthermore, exercise helps to produce the neurotransmitter they call, or the hormones they call endorphins. Endorphins are, I mentioned it earlier, they are natural painkillers. So when you exercise, you indulge in positive feedback and all that, the level of endorphins are increased. And as the level of endorphin increases, the level of the adrenaline, norepinephrine, and the cortisol drops. I think I mentioned meditation. I also talked about nature viewing. You go to a Greenland, being in the Greenland helps your body to produce endorphins. I mentioned that, serotonin and melatonin. Melatonin helps you to sleep. So you see, as you indulge in all these things, you see that you begin to, encourage your body to normalize the anomaly. So you also have massage therapy. So massage increases the amount of dopamine, serotonin, endorphins. And this counter the level of cortisol, adrenaline, and norepinephrine, like I mentioned. There's also the use of essential oils. So basically, essential oil are 100% of concentrated oils made from natural sources that are used for diverse purposes. So essential oils and concentrated or pure aromatic, they usually have a smell. Some of them have nice soothing smell, diverse kind of smells. So amongst the uses, essential oils are used for stress management. So essential oils are used in a branch of health or medicine that is called aromatherapy. So it's the use of essential oils or good aroma from aromatic oils for health benefits. They help to elicit positive emotions, relieve anxiety and tension. So the olfactory system, that is a system that controls smell, that involves the nose and the sense neurons within the olfactory system, is connected to areas of the brain that control mood. You understand? So when you inhale some of these aromatic oils, they go through the nose to elicit some reactions in your brain that involves relaxation. This is how they work. So, but these oils are not supposed to be used in their pure form. They're supposed to be diluted. So they are supposed to be diluted, so they can be diluted before they are inhaled. They can be used with in the form of a diffuser. With a diffuser, you put the diffuser and you inhale the vapor, or as they circulate around the room. So this is how they are used. So I've explained how you mix or you dilute this essential oil. So you use what they call carrier oils. Carrier oils are like almond oil, coconut oil, jojoba oil. So use this to dilute the essential oils. And the ideal concentration is 5%. So basically, to get a 5% dilution, a simple way to do that is just to take 0.1 ml of an essential oil and mix it with 2 ml rather of a carrier oil. So let's say, for example, you take 0.1 ml of an essential oil, mix it with 2 ml of a carrier oil like almond oil, you get a 5% dilution, and you can use it. You can even apply it to the skin and inhale and all that. So these are the examples of essential oils that you can use and their respective functions. So I have lavender oil. Lavender oil is good for relaxation. You have ylang. Ylang is very good for rest if you want to rest. You have chamomile. Chamomile helps elicit sleep. You have orange. Orange is very good for meditation. So you can use your orange oil with your diffuser while you practice your meditation. So that helps you to relax and then reduce anxiety. Then you also have sandalwood oil, which helps with anxiety, clary sage for stress, lemon for mood lifting. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling low, you can do well with lemon essential oil. Then jasmine also helps with depression. This is your what's it called, levels. So basically, that's for that. I hope you got some value, and we'll end it for now. Thank you.